กันดามันเลี้ยจลอมไทยอันตะทอตั้งหลายปีอย่างลูกไอได้ตะทากวนบานตราตั้งหายเจียเสกไตประเทศบาทเวออ้อยกาดปัญญาจากขอบในคือปราชญาเวออ้อยกาดเสกไตตั้งมาประกอบประแมนประพฤติเติตามไปเสกไตงอบลงงอบตามไปเสกไตตั้งจำปัวตามไปเสกไตตั้งท้ายประไปตามไปเสกไตรมลอดตรงกัตมาจะสาภิกขเวไม่ใช่เมียปะได้ปะเตียตถาคตเตนะอภิสัมปเทียจากโคการณัยเนียนการณัยอุปสัมมายะอภัยเนียยะสัมโพเทียยะนับเปียเนียยะสังวัตเตมเนียภิกขอทั้งหลายก็ใส่ในประเทศบาทเจียกันตาแต่ตถากรบานตราตั้งหายเจียใส่ในประเทศบาทเวออ้อยกาดปัญญาจากขอเวออ้อยกาดใส่ในตั้งฉบับประกอบตัวแมงประพฤติเติตามไปใส่ในงอบลงงอบตามไปใส่ในตั้งจำปัวตามไปใส่ในตั้งท้ายประไปตามไปใส่ในรมลอดตกโลตาโดยมาดังอายเมวะอาริยาอาทังกิเกาเมียโกอาทังกิกะเมียคือโคโตเจียบเล่าเมียนองพรำไปดับประสานีไอหาทาใส่ไกรประเทศบาทเจียกันดาไซยะไทยแดงอาทังกิกะเมียโนโดยมาได้คลาสัมมาตันเทปราชญาโยลเคยเตอสัมมาสังกัปเปาใส่ไกรแตรเอเตอสัมมาเวียจาสัมได้เตอสัมมากัมมันเตาขางเงียเตอสัมมาอาจีโวเกริยาจินจำจีวัตเตอสัมมาเวียเยโมเจียเยี่ยมเตอสัมมาสเตใส่ไกรรลักเตอสัมมาสมาธิเกริยาต้องกอจันอ้อยนังเตออายังข่าวสาภิกขเวไม่เชเมียปะเดปะเตียตถาคตเตนะอภิสัมปเทียจากโคการณัยเนียนการณัยอุปสัมมายะอภัยเนียยะสัมปเทียยะนังเพียเนียยะสังวัตเตมเนียภิกขอจังหลายอาทังกิกะเมียในไอแต่เท้าทาใส่ไกรประเทศบาทเจียกันตาแต่ตถากรบานตราตั้งหายเจียใส่ไกรประเทศบาทเวออ้อยกาดปัญญาจากขอเวออ้อยกาดใส่ไกรตั้งฉบับประกอบตัวแมงประพฤติเติตามไปใส่ไกรงอบลงงอบตามไปใส่ไกรตั้งจำปัวตามไปใส่ไกรตั้งท้ายประไปตามไปใส่ไกรรมลอดตกอีกอย่างข้าวปานาภิกขเวตกทั้งอริยสัจจังเจียแต่ไปตกข้าจริยไปตกข้าเจียที่ไปตกข้าวมรณะไปตกขังเศร้ากับปริเตวตกขโตมานาสปายาสาไปตกข้าตกข้าวยำไปช่างและปฏิตามไปตกข้างต่างคัดเตนะปัญจปาเตียนักขันเทียตกเอวเมโสตังโสดเนชมัวธรรมจากาปวัตนาโสคือขยมชมัวอานันตา
homage to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and my respect to Venerable Hun Kamara, and my respect to Venerable Soktivi that is in this platform this morning, and again my deep respect to Venerable Mahasangha, and greetings to everyone that are here watching us live today. And my name is Sakan Tim, live from Seattle, Washington. And welcome to our Dhammika Life Dhammasandana program. So this program is brought to you by the Dhammika Life Foundations, which is led by our most Venerable Soktivi. And this program is usually hosted in Khmer, and English switches interchangeably every Friday at 8 p.m. in Cambodia time and 6 p.m. Seattle time. So however, today today we are discussing amazing topics, as this event is happening soon. Within it's on the 6th. So this is why we have it today. This same topic was discussed yesterday, which was hosted in Khmer language by our sister Hugh Saipich. So our main purpose is to disseminate the Buddha's teaching, which are related in our daily life to all of us around the world. And so today's discussion is on Māghapūjā Day. So it's such a great privilege to have our we're supposed to have 3 distinguished Dhamma speakers, but the Venerable Hat Sing Hai was unable to make it this today with us. And so it's great to have our 2 special speakers today that's joined us. And I am sure that all of you know who they are, but I wanted to briefly to introduce to you. And so our first speakers is Venerable Hun Kamra, and good morning to you. My respect to you. He is the director and co-founder of International Cambodian Buddhist Center and David Rodrigo Child Development Center for Special Needs Children, Sri Lanka. So Venerable is a meditation trainer and also an interpreter for Vipassana Dura Buddhist Center of the Kingdom of Cambodia. And our second speaker, my respect to you, Venerable Saktivi. Our second speaker is he is our founder of the Mika Life Foundation. The Mika Life Foundation is a non-for-profit organization aiming at promoting Buddhist teaching. Venerable is a leading and teaching Buddhism in courses to help Dhamma friends to better understand not only the English terminology, but also the Buddhist teachings. And so thank you both for joining us. And so let's see. So I wanted to say Māghapūjā Day is one of the auspicious days that miraculously marked a lot of major features. So we're going to talk about 4 major. So it marks the 4 major characteristic features. On this day, there were 1,250 disciples came to see the Buddha without any invitation, which means they are fully intuitive, aware of the Buddha's manifestation, and all of them became arahants. They are known as enlightened disciples. So they are ordained by the Buddha. In addition, on this astounding day, which happened to be the full moon day, where the Buddha announced his passing on. So this surprising day, the Buddha presented his Dhamma talk on the Vinaya to his disciples. So this spectacular Dhamma talk is focused precisely on the predominant rules and regulations for the ordained ones to ensure that his disciples are well trained and prepared and ready to carry on the legacy of his true teaching, Sasana. So this year, Māghapūjā Day is on Monday here in the U.S., February 6th. And so we are going to begin our program. We're going to ask our 2 experts here on this platform. And so I'm going to give the mic to Venerable Hun Kamra. What is Māghapūjā, and what is the main objective or purposes of this particular celebrations that some of us may or may not fully aware and understood of?
Thank you, sister, for the invitation. So before I started by answering the question, let me pay homage to the triple gem, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and Sangha, and the member of Mahasangha, and especially Venerable Bhikkhu Muniputto Saktivi, the founder and the director of Dhammika Jivat Institute and friends in them around the globe. So, as Buddhists across the world, especially Buddhists who are following the Theravadic tradition, Māghapūjā day is very, very important. And besides that, as Buddhists, we have many festivals to be celebrated, not only Māghapūjā day, but Māghapūjā day has been becoming more and more important to the Buddhists who are living in Cambodia, in Thailand and Laos, because I have been in Sri Lanka. For Sri Lankans, Vesak full moon day or Visakha Puja is the most important Buddhist festival in Sri Lanka. So before answering to the question, what is the significance of the Māghapūjā day? So let me say it in Khmer, Māghapūjā. So this is how we pronounce Pali in our Khmer style. So Māghapūjā is the international style how people who follow the international pronunciation pronounce that word Māghapūjā. So puja is about kinds of offering, kinds of sacrifice, and Magha is the name of the month. So according to the Hindu calendar, it's a third month of Hindu calendar. So this is the name of the month, like January, February, and March, and so on. But Māghapūjā become more related to the Buddhist festival because we are celebrating Buddhist events in this month. That is why it's like it has been a kinds of idealized to that month. But so as you know, Māghapūjā is characterized by four and more important events. One is, as the sister said, that on this day, on this particular day, Buddha delivered his advice to his disciples. We call it Awad Patimokkha. And another special event is his 1,250 disciples came to see him, and as you said, without any invitation, without being summoned, and most of them were the disciples of the Buddha, his students, converted disciples such as three Kassapa brothers and Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Punggalan and his friends. And another second important point is they are all Arahantas, the enlightened disciples who were endowed with psychic superpowers. And the third point is, as you said, they were ordained directly by the Buddha himself, and we call it in Pali Ehi Bhikkhu Upasambhada. They got high ordination by just invitation from the Buddha. So they are his direct spiritual descendants. And the final one, this special event, I mean the first Buddhist congregation or Buddhist assembly happened on the full moon day. So these four characteristics mark the Māghapūjā day more important, and that is why some people call it the Fourfold Assembly Day or Sangha Day. And besides the fact I have been mentioning, and this is, I mean, this is it's kinds of where in modern technical term we call it the constitution of the government is established, is formed. So on this day is the concrete constitution of Buddhist monastic life is declared, is informed to his disciples. This is our goal. This is our way in leading our spiritual life. And he appointed his, I use the modern technical term, his men 2 ministers, and in Buddhism we call it men 2 disciples, Most Venerable Sariputta and Most Venerable Moggallana. So that is why Māghapūjā is very important day for Buddhists. So I think that's all from me, and Venerable Sukti may add something more. Yeah, that's all, sister.
Sadhu, sadhu. And it's so amazing how they are like his direct spiritual descendant, and I often want to know they don't come by car or by tok or anything like that. And so I'm just so amazed how they're so they have that psychic super power. So Venerable Soktivi, would you like to do you have anything else that you would like to put some input on the what is Māghapūjā?
Okay, thank you for the question. I would like to pay respect, my homage to the Triple Gem, and my respect to Venerable Kassapa and all Venerable Mahasangha around the world. And greeting Sister Sakon, Sister Bobka, everyone. As the Māghapūjā is approaching very soon on the 15th full moon of Magha months, like Venerable Kassapa already mentioned about this special event in the Buddha's teachings. And so we all Buddhists around the world, not only Cambodia, especially the Theravada Buddhist countries like Cambodia, Thailand, Laos, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, India, and even in the United States of America. Our temples everywhere, we try to encourage all the lay devotees to come to the temple, so we have the chance to make an offering during this full moon night. Normally we always have some marching ceremony, like I see in the Vipassana Thura of Cambodia yesterday. They have a very great initiative idea to work with the international Color Kid International School and the Dhammika Academy as well. We have cooperated the idea to introduce Māghapūjā to the kids, to the young generation, at least for them to learn more and get involved with the activity itself, because this is such an important event for all the Buddhists, and Buddhists not only the old people, but we have to get the young people involved as well. And here what I would like to bring the importance message of the Māghapūjā, though we have so many incidents happened during the months of Magha, but I would like to strongly emphasize on the importance of Avata Parimokha, the Buddha's exhortation, special advice to establish the Sangha community in order for the Buddha Sasana or the community of monks to sustain for a long time. Vinaya or the disciplinary rule must be well established and well observed by the community members itself. Like imagine like an organization that can strongly stands and lastly stands. It has to have a strong foundation of rules and regulation. So the announcement of Avattapatimokkha, advice of the Buddha, admonishments of the Buddha himself, is like a constitution that the Buddha founded and announced for the members, especially the bhikkhus, to follow. So I would like just to read the Avattapatimokkha that has 3.5 stanzas, both in Pali language and the translation. So the first stanza starts with Sappapa passa akaranang kusalasa upasambada sacita parayo tapanang edang buddhana sasanam. So Sappapa passa akaranang, not to do any ill will or abstaining from all unwholesome. Kusalasa upasambada, accomplishing what is good and wholesome. Sacita parayo tapanang, purification of one's mind. Etam buddhana sasanam. This is the teaching of all the Buddhas. Then stanza number 2, Gatha number 2. Khanti paramang tapoti tikha nippahanang paramang vatanti buddha nahi papacito parupakhati samano hoti parang vihe thayanto. Khanti paramang tapoti tikha. Patience is the highest practice. Nippahanang paramang vatanti buddha. Nibbana is supreme, says the Buddha. Nahi papacito parupakhati. He verily is not a recluse who harms others. Samano hoti parang vihe tayanto. A samana, a monk, oppresses no one. Then the last stanza, 1.5 gatha. Anupavato anupakhato patimokhe ja sangvaro mattanyuta ja bhattasming pat pantancha sayana sanam athi chitte cha ayoko etam buddhana sasanam. Anupavato anupakhato, not insulting, not harming. Patimokhe ja sangvaro, restrain in according to the moral code. Patimokha. Mattanyuta ja bhattasming, knowing moderation in food. Pantancha sayana sanam, dwelling in solitude or seclusion. Athi chitte ja ayoko, endeavor in higher mental development. Etam buddhana sasanam. This is the teaching of all the Buddhas. So these are the Avattapatimokkha. They are delivered by the Buddha himself. So I just read both the Pali language and the translation, and later onward when Bokaspa and I can elucidate more if there is a more question, and we can, kind of explain a little bit why is it so important for the establishment of the Buddha Sasana. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. It's so amazing how his monastic constitution, rules and regulations is being implemented to all his disciples, and not only to his disciples. And it's I think it's very important that all of us learn from that constitution. Even like stanza 1 is avoid ill will, and then stanza 2 is like more like practicing patience is very important, and the stanza 3 is like not insulting, not harming, and eating with moderations. If we learned all this Avattapatimokkha and practice in our daily lifestyle, it would have helped us balance amazingly in our life. We really, he's kind of like our psychologist. He the rules and regulation, and we can apply it in our daily lifestyles. So, Venerable Hun Kamra, what are the main focus points in relates to his advisory principles that may embed it deep down beneath that some devotees or even research scholars may have been overlooked for unfamiliarized with?
Okay, thank you, sister. And before answering the questions, I would add another point that I think another special day is the Buddha sacrificed his entire life to become the Buddha, to attain enlightenment, in order to share this philosophy for all beings. And the Mara, invited him a few times to pass away, and in Pali you call it Parinibbana. But he rejected again and again, waiting for his disciples to become, endowed with good knowledge, strong ideology that can change the way that people think in order to reach enlightenment. So, but on tomorrow, on this Māghapūjā day, the Mara invited the Buddha to attain the complete Parinibbana, that it's time for you venerables to pass away. So the Buddha accepted that, and within 3 months he will pass away. So this is another important point. So as Venerable Saktivi elaborated and recited, so what I want to share is, when it comes to the term scholar, what most people are misinterpreted is, they think that when the people just only holding the degrees or experiences in their particular fields, they might be considered as the scholar and who know everything. But from Buddhist point of view, in order to become a real scholar, not only by the knowledge you acquire from different universities or colleges or institute, the most important point is the inner qualities to be cultivated. So in Ova the Padimokha, simply those are the great teachings that can motivate everyone to cultivate our inner qualities or spiritual qualities for a better life. And not only, well-known scholars, even some Buddhists overlook and ignore the core philosophy of the Ova the Padimokha. We celebrate Māghapūjā day or Māghapūjā, but most of us forget this most important message from the Buddha. So according to the commentary, this is the brief or this is the summary of his teaching. As you said, how his disciples came to the assembly without inform, and they didn't have any means of transportation. But this is the psychic power they have. So when the Buddha just give the 3 verses or the 3 stanzas, they know this is the basic, this is the fundamental teaching of Buddhism, which can be included in threefold training, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. So this is the philosophy reflects on Buddhist lifestyle. Even you are not a monk or lay person, this is the lifestyle you have to follow, you have to pursue. So as mentioned, for me, this is where the people interpret and overlook the patience or the forbearance. So I mean, every single of our life moment, we need patience. So I mean, in order to reach our goal, in order to do something, even to maintain the family life, to attain any kinds of achievement in life, without patience, you cannot do that. So I mean, this from the basic level, and not only that, like I mean, from the verses themselves, he taught us how to how to change our lifestyle, even for eating. You must eat enough, not eat too much. So he teaches us that on the way to the enlightenment, the way you live has a huge impact on the way you attain enlightenment. If you cannot manage the way you eat, you are not that capable to attain enlightenment. So I mean, even from the first step, and having enough sleep and learn how to relax, have a break. That is the technical term we use. Dwelling in seclusion. So, but in a deeper level, it's about practicing meditation, attaining dhyana, and so on. But from what I want to say, in order to follow a very strict practice, you have to start how to remain silent, how to stay alone, because being alone is an indicator of being a strong person or strong personality. So what I want to share, like he tell us everything, to have a very happy life on the daily basis. Like must keep doing good, don't harm anyone, don't torture anyone, don't make anyone sad or depressed or frustrated. So just spend your life for the happiness of everyone, especially for yourself. So this is we have to take into our consideration. Yeah. So that's all from me, Sister Sakon.
I often wanted, I don't see any audience would like to put any comments in. We'll look at it as well. I often wanted to, with the one who comes up and created it rules, and the rules is meant to be for everybody in the whole world. And I especially just following that rule is to help us balance the equations of our lifestyles. Just for instance, for the layman, if we eat too much, we're going to gain weight. And when we try to meditate, we wouldn't be able to meditate very well either, because you would have like imbalanced stomach, and you can't even sit still. And also, if you meditate in a different time, it doesn't work as well. And being, let's say, Venerable Honkambra, you mentioned about being silent and being understand to ourselves is very important, because today is such a busy life, and if we don't take time to be silent and to understand, to listen to ourselves, it is kind of difficult. We can get mental disturbed. And so, Venerable Soktevi, would you like to add any other things that can be related with the main focus point relates to the principle?
Yeah, I think it's quite interesting how the Buddha's advice since over 2000 years ago, and it's still applicable to the daily lifestyle of the people around the world. Even though the Buddha expounded towards his own disciple, but it can be applied to by one and all, regardless of religious background, regardless of nationality, because it is so general and so common in our lifestyle, especially when we comes back to the first verse, the first gatha. Sappapa passa akaranang, not to do any evil. There might have been a lot of people doing bad things in his time as well. So he overlooked through the through the lifestyle of people in those times that there can be killing, there can be harming one another, especially if we reflect about the caste system in India. All the monks will come from different caste system because India are very much biased in the caste system. So there might have been a lot of troubles and causing harm to one another, especially when coming to live together like a community. It's not an easy thing to deal with. State, for example, in recent day in United States of America, we see the mixtures of nationalities that migrated to the state, to the land of America, and often we have this problem, the racism, the differentiation and bias and all kinds of things happening in the names of humanity. So in the Buddha's time, it's not so different, and so the Buddha foreseen that if the rule has been set, like not to harm one another, as the monk, we should not perform any evil action. The monk should do only good things and should purify the mind. These are not only for the sake of the others, but also most importantly for the sake of oneself to live a happy life. If we live without harming others, if we live giving no harm to our surrounding, then we also be happy. We also be free from danger and enmity. So this is very important message that we all can take to practice in our daily lifestyle. And again, when the Buddha said sappapa passa akaranang, not to do any bad, unwholesome action. So unwholesome is not only referred to the physical action, but through three ways of action that we normally say, kaya kamma, vachi kamma, mano kamma. So three actions that we should refrain from doing through our physical action, through our verbal action, and through our mental action. We should not harm others physically. We should not harm others verbally by using verbal attack or backbiting, insulting, defaming, so and so. And again, the mental action as well. We should not even think bad about others, should not think negatively. Even with our own defilements, we have some kinds of negativity of the mind. Sometimes our thoughts are like rubbish, we think very complicatedly. We think in a way that can trigger to sensual desires. That is also bad. That is also unwholesome. So when the Buddha talks about akusala, unwholesome state of the mind, we have to see to the root of the evil unwholesome mind, that is akusala citta, the 12 unwholesome consciousness which associated with all kinds of unwholesome mental factors. Those are to be got rid of, those are to be removed and to be practiced, to eliminate it, through meditation, through good conduct, through observing moral virtues and precepts and so on. So I just mentioned only the first stanza is quite very applicable and very interesting to today's lifestyle. And again, he encouraged, after having refrained all kinds of bad action, we should only performing or doing good deeds, more good actions. As we see in the the right effort, you still remember in the Samma Vayama. So the right effort, there are four kinds of right efforts. We can relate to this teaching as well. So there are two sides, two things in the bad side and two things in the good side. So two things in the bad side is that we have to refrain from doing bad, and then we have to abandon the bad things that we have already been done. So these are two things. And the other two things with good side, we have to perform good and we have to keep doing good. The good deed that we have been doing, We have to remain doing that or try to develop more good deeds. These are related with this, importance message from the Buddha's constitution that is uh, celebrated in the Māghapūjā. And the last one, very, very essential, very profound teaching that sometime in any other philosophy we may not find it. It is very insight when it comes to mental development. We have very unique techniques on how to develop our mind, have the mind trained and cultured in a good way, and normally called as a meditation, as a bhavana. So bhavana is not only for mental, for meditation, but also training with precept, training, with the good conduct, training with the wisdom that we have to acquire more in order to purify this mind. The mind is not pure, so we need to have our mind purified and trained. With that, we can achieve peace and happiness. So this can be practiced by one and all, especially in today's world. Like you said, we live in a rush, busy society where people are very competitive and trying so hard to obtain something that they desire. Ultimately, they still cannot satisfy with what they are looking for, even though they get it, because the mind is not rest, the mind is not peace. So we see that materialism that we all are chasing after cannot satisfy us, even though how much we gain. Only when we come back to dive deep into the world inside here and try to understand what is happening, how the mind works, and what we're really looking for in life, the real essence of life. Only when we truly understand and realize the true nature of our own life, then we can, surely and guarantee for our own happiness. So the message of the Buddha from the Māghapūjā is really important and essential for today's world. People can take into reflection. I not say that for people to just believe while listening, but to take it into consideration whether this teaching can be applicable to your life. So we see the training of the mind, meditation, or some people practicing yoga, whatever method they may follow. If it helps to calm down the mind, if it helps to gain wisdom, then you can keep going on with that. This is so important with the third factors after refraining from bad deed, doing good, and then purifying the mind is so important that I would like to bring awareness to our community nowadays. We need more meditation. We need more mind training. By just learning alone without practicing cannot lead us to the goal to achieve the ultimate happiness. So that's just what I want to say.
Yes, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. It is very important. I just wanted to bring, this is my own personal experience, is whenever do you ever, even to our audience, whenever I go to a funeral, I would listen to the chanting, and the only thing, when I look at the person that's passed away, that's just the physical body, and we have to take care. And so the physical body is it's going to be cremated, or it's going to be, pretty soon it's going to all die out. And it's remind me to be aware of that, like Venerable Saktivan mentioned, we need to make sure that we are aware of refrains from doing the bad things, and to continue to do good things, good actions, and meditation, and understanding the awareness, understanding ourselves, our understanding, being aware of our physical action, our mental actions, and our verbal action is very important. And like Venerable Wankampa mentioned, that the Buddhist lifestyle teaching is to understand, to have this sila, samadhi and panya is very important. And Venerable Kunkamba, do you have any other things perhaps enrich that would enrich in our today's daily life from the particular advice, especially with the current situations around the world today? I know Venerable Soktip had mentioned some. Thea wanted to see from your side perspective.
Okay, thank you, sister. So, from what the Buddha has taught us, I mean, from a very first word, a stanza, the verse, the Sabbapa Pasakaranang, and the final one is the Sacitta Pario Dapanang. So, this is the point that the world should be more concerned about, that purify your mind or taking care of your mind, as Venerable Sakti said. And this is the quote that I very often say in any kinds of conference or before foreign friends, that Buddhist point of view when it comes to reconciliation or peace building process is about fixing your mind, fixing your problem. So, and this is I'm very proud to say that, but it is not kinds of discrimination or looking down any philosophy. I'm proud to say that to be a Buddha disciple, that he focuses on, more on how the mind works and how to cleanse your mind and how to cultivate more good mental qualities or wholesomeness, in our mind, and which leads our life, to be better. So this is, we have to understand that any calamities or issues or problems in life are not that a big issue, as long as you can take care of your mind. So that is why Buddhism focuses more, importantly, on purify our mind. So as Venerable Sakti said, in the modern society, in the modern life, in today society, people are very competitive, and on the other hand, they have more work to be done. Many responsibilities to carry on, and sometimes they feel burdensome, stressful. But from the Buddhist point of view is, when you train your mind to let go, when you train your mind to relax, when you train your mind not to be detached, to attach or to any kinds of life experiences you go through, or having less expectation. So this is the way that we can reconcile ourselves with between the life circumstances we are going through. So my suggestion as Buddhist monk, so this message can be practiced by anyone in the world, because we have the same mind, we experience the same suffering, sadness, anger, and so on. And we have the same nature, that we can experience the positivity, in terms of mentality. We can be happy, we can be peaceful, we can be compassionate, we can be compassion. So the power is inside our mind. We have that. The responsibility and accountability is on our shoulder in order to become a happy person. So we have that legacy, we have that heritage in us, that is the power, the capacity, the potential to take care of your mind through practicing meditation. So I think this is the best solution for the modern issue, modern problem, that people are suffering from different mental illnesses, because they don't know how to take care of the mind, they don't know how to have a rest, they don't know how to take a break when they are too busy, when they are in a state of, depression or stressfulness. So my point is, meditation is most important point. So that is Buddha left us to practice. So that's all, sister.
Yes, sadhu, sadhu. And Venerable Hon Camera, I follow you too. You teach psychology as well, right? And so it's all have to be balanced, especially in our daily lifestyle. If we need to be balanced with finance, family, work, especially if we do not have a purified mind and our mind is not pure, we're not focused on our mind, we can go really, really bazook. Seriously, especially nowadays, like Venerable Soktivia mentioned. I I am so amazed for the Buddha to even found all these before we even and it's not that he doesn't even have, there's no college there during those time, but he, through his meditation and through his findings, he comes up with this rules and regulation. It's just so amazing. What is your perspective? What is I'm just so amazed. So how, Venerable Saktivi, can you can you put some input in it? How has this come about? Because there's no college, it's just so amazing how his mind, how his findings come about to this rules and regulation. That's just my question right there, since we're right in the middle of it.
That's why he is known as Samma Sambuddha. Samma Sambuddha. He is known as Vinyu. He is known as Lokavitu. He is known as Vichacharana Sampanno. Everything you see in the Itipiso Bhagava Arahan Samma Sambuddha. Yeah, we recite, we chant there to honor the Buddha's qualities that he has, the 10 qualities of the Buddha, and that become the subject of meditation in Samatha Bhavana as well, as everybody remember. We also take the Buddha's quality as an object of meditation. We just reflect why the Buddha knows everything, why he is known as Samma Sambuddha, the fully enlightened one, why he is known as Vichacharana Sampanno. He is well endowed with knowledge and good conduct, why he is known as Saddha Deva Manusanang. He is the teachers of God and men. Why the Buddha known as Purisattammasariti. He is the tamer of all men, so and so forth. He is known as the Bhagava because he is known as a Buddha because he has awakened from the darkness, ignorance, and he come to realize the Four Noble Truths, that he knows everything about the true nature of life. Then there's no wonder why they don't have school, no college, no university in those days. But he's so composed of, endowed with great knowledge, not only in his that very existence, but he have been accumulating, performing all good perfections, all great perfections in the past, life after life, eon, so countless of lives, existences that the Buddha have been accomplishing, accumulating all kinds of perfection, including the charity, the virtue, the meditation, the truthfulness, the patience, all kinds of things that he have been performing, and the panya especially, like in the one of the Jataka story of the Mahasat, yeah, that's the existence that he have been accumulating most of the Panya Parami, right? The perfections of wisdom. So no wonder why the Buddha has so great knowledge, and he foresee the future even back in 2,500 years ago. But it's still what he teach is still applicable, is still applicable to the daily life, because what happening in in the past. It's not very much different in modern society, I believe. All the things that we deal with nowadays only about how to live a happy life, especially within the time that people facing a lot of crisis. In the Buddha's time too, facing the same things, happening the same thing. It's all about bad things and it's all about good things. So when bad things and good things happening, people lose balance. So they need to find balance to stay happy. And so that balance, maybe the Buddha found the method, this method of mental development. If we only trying to balance materialism, financially, marriage life, work, issue, not enough. You need to balance the mind. If the mind is not balanced, if the mind is not well trained, and if you're not mindful, then we cannot stay happy, because happiness is a state of the mind. So materialism alone does not help. So I think this would answer your question.
Forgot to unmute myself. Thank you for your answers. So, do we have any questions from our audience? So I've been monitoring. There's no questions. So if you have any questions for our expert, Jenny, do you have any questions for our Dhamma speakers here for about Māghapūjā Day? Do you have any question into our audience before we ask our speakers the last words? Okay. So I don't see we have anything. So what Venerable Wonkema, what should be your last advices or opinions to our audience, listeners, and to all our Buddhist devotees out there? Like, what would be their practical? Let's see, what would be their practical principle to not only to maintain their appropriate composures in respect to this particular celebration, Māghapūjā, but also help ease up some of the tension, hindrance in their mind and physically, to both venerables.
Okay, thank you, sister. Before adding something to the question, I would like to say that I mentioned it earlier that I feel that we are very fortunate, the most fortunate people in the world to be the disciples of the Buddha. And your question reflects that the Buddha is amazing, that he knows everything, and he sacrificed a lot to become the Buddha, as mentioned, as Venerable Saktivi mentioned earlier. He gained different kinds of, inner qualities, patience, wisdom, and he did that for us, to be honest. Because some people think that Buddha didn't do anything to you, but he set some bad example, like he left his wife, his son. I mean, there are negative responses to what he did, but this is only one point. But we have to be more positive. He left his son, he left his wife, but he came back to rescue them, to save them, to liberate them from the suffering, from the eternal suffering, and to experience the eternal blissfulness. So he's a great man with a great wisdom. So he knows everything. That is why he's called omniscience. So as disciples of his, what I want to say on this particular day is, as adult, while we are celebrating Māghapūjā, I think not only devotees, but most of the monks, they forget our young generation. So I'm taking this a great opportunity to make a request that even your grandsons, granddaughters, sons and daughters don't know anything about Māghapūjā, and you just let them come close to you while you are reciting something, while you are meditating, or just let them, offer even one flower to the Buddha statue. I mean, this is how we transfer our goodness, our wholesomeness. I mean, because even they don't understand, but we know that this is the legacy, this is the heritage that should be handed over to my son, to my daughter. At least let them, let the feeling of respecting Buddha touches their heart. So what I want to say is, sometimes we are not that uh, knowledgeable of Buddhism, but just practice at the beginning. And what I want to just to share that great teaching to your son, to your daughter, and make their life much more better. So that's all from me, and very happy Māghapūjā Day, and may everyone be well and happy. That's all.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We have questions in our audience. I wanted to go ahead and read it. Maybe both Venu can assist. So this is from Dalan Ed. Namaste, Bante, and hello. Okay, so she wanted, or Dalan, could you give us an advice for teenager enjoy their journey and reduce their stress? And so, who would it like? Okay, Venables, both can. Let's go Venables Activity first.
And then give to the expert and the expert.
Okay.
So we've been talking a lot about mind training. I think to reduce stress, maybe we are stressful because sometimes we are overloaded with work. I think mostly when we do something so much and keep doing that, and we don't change the gear, so that's why we face some hard time. I think all we need to do is to learn how to rest, like Venerable Gaspar was saying. Sometimes we need to learn how to take a rest, take enough sleep and eat enough, and rest enough, and that can recharge our battery to go on. If we keep using it, it just getting exhausted, right? Just like when we use our phone, it can run out of battery if we keep using it without charging. So in the same way, while working in daily life, we should take some time to rest. And by resting, I mean not only sleeping or going for pleasure, traveling or trip, but maybe meditation, taking some time to reflect on yourself, take a moment to see yourself better, especially the inside, the mind. I think that's what I want to say. Venerable, please.
Yeah, same thing will be added. So same points, but I want to clarify that what our young generation has to understand is everything is created, everything is mind made. So what they have to do is they have to understand their mind first. And when your mind is not that strong to bear, to hold too much responsibilities, too much obsessive thoughts, because young generation has a lot of things, and the the mentality that makes them stressful is the daydream imagination. They have different imaginations. So this is where you have to change the way you think. This is where you have to change the way you react to different kinds or different circumstances in life. So what I want to suggest is sometimes what you are thinking is too heavy because your mind is not that strong. You have to practice meditation in order to, as Venerable Saktivi said, to have a break. Just give your mind a rest. Just let it sleep for a while and come back. To come back stronger. So my suggestion is, first you have to meditate on the regular basis every day, day in, day out, and it's kinds of charging your mental power. And second point is, you have to always change the way you respond to any kinds of circumstances you go through in life. So, and you have to do it every day. So changing your mind, then you can change the way you feel. When you can change the way you feel, you can change the way you react to your stress. That's all from me, Sister Sakon.
Thank you. So, Daland, I hope that our two experts have answered your questions, and I wanted to input as far as the journey for. I have a young teenager as well, and we've received some books from Venerable Saktivi, and he had read 2 already, and so he learned a lot. He learned to meditate as well. So in our daily lifestyle for our young ones, it's also, I find it's also he exercises as well. So exercises helps tone down and the stress. And also, if he has so many tasks, such as, so many, because he may have a lot of maybe homework or has a lot of things with the family, he needs to focus on which one is most important and cut into small, task. So, and then just work on those, the most important one, and then just go on the list. So that's important. And then, of course, purify the mind. Meditation is very important. All right. So I hope that would answer your questions. And if you have any more, I think that's it. And so, Venerable Saktivi, do you have any last word that you want to share to our audience?
Yeah, my message would be just to be aware of the important message of the Buddha while we celebrating Māghapūjā. This is so important for all Buddhists around the world. By going to the temple, either bringing any offering to offer to the Buddha, don't forget to practice his teaching, because this is the core principle. It's like the heart of the Buddha's teaching that he announced on that very day. So it's so important that we apply his teaching in our daily practice so that we can gain happiness. And also the monk usually leads the lay people to recite the Avata Patimokkha, like here at my temple, Wat Khmer Hawaii. We also will conduct the Avata Patimokkha chanting in Pali language, and we will try to translate and explain to our followers, those who come to the temple. And I encourage all the temple, especially the leaders of the Buddhist community, to bring this awareness to the young generation as well. Please include the young generation, involve them to join the activity, and also share the message, the important message from the Buddha himself while celebrating the puja. So I wish everyone around the world to be happy and to be well and peaceful. Anumodhani.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So thank you both, our special guest speaker. And so before we end our live shows, I'd like to share the merits to our 2 special speakers, to our admin, Bubaka, that's assisting us with our technical support. And so we'd like to share this merit from this Dhamma Dana to everyone in the whole universe. And may everyone be happy and peaceful. And thank you so much for all the Mega Life team staff And of course, again, Bobga, Sister Bobga, for providing such a wonderful support to make this program possible. And last but not least, thank you for all of you that follow us live. And so again, my name is Sakan Tim, live from Seattle. Thank you, Venerable Saktevi and Venerable Honkamra. And now let us spend a few minutes practicing Metta Bhavana loving kindness meditation, which will be instructed by Venerable Gasapat Honkamra.
Hello everyone. Let us practice loving friendliness meditation for oneself. Self-loving friendliness meditation is the first section of Metta meditation. Self-loving friendliness meditation is designed to direct you to happily take care of yourself, to honestly forgive yourself, to truly accept yourself without conditions. Before starting, please find a very comfortable posture. Close your eyes. Relax your head, your shoulders, your arms, and your entire body. Please slowly take a very deep breath 3 times. When it is done, let your breath flow as naturally as it does. Observe your breath without judgment, reactions, and criticism. Just merely observe it as the way it is while you are listening to my Pali Metta chanting. Aham Now, please create a very tender smile on your face. Visualize your happy and smiling face. You are a very happy person with smiling face. Please keep smiling with honest heart, because you are going to bless yourself. Please be aware of the phrases which I am going to recite, and let yourself honestly feel the real meanings of the phrases. and happy. May I be free from hatred. May I be free from ill will. May I be free from anger. May I be free from physical and mental sufferings. May I take care of myself happily. May I take care of myself happily. May I take care of myself happily. Now, take your right hand and place it on your chest, and you can mentally repeat after me. In this home, we are family. We live under the same shelter, so we must be kind to each other, be compassionate to each other, be friendly to each other, help each other, respect one another, be happy every day, keep smiling with honest heart, be grateful, be positive, forgive even when it's really hard. Before open your eyes, please take again a very deep breath 3 times. Thank you. May you be well and happy.